Hey everyone, and welcome back to the channel. So for today's discussion, I want to talk about something that is very serious. I want to talk about a topic that some people consider it to actually be somewhat of a taboo to actually have this type of discussion. I want to put certain things within the same context for today's discussion, within the same sentence. I want to talk about men. I want to use the word crying. I want to use the word feelings. And I want to use the word emotions. All within the context of talking about the male species, specifically talking about us men and how we deal with certain things. Now, as I was deciding on this topic and sharing it with a couple people, one of my friends noted to me, wow, that's a real touchy one to talk about men and to talk about feelings and to talk about emotions and to talk about crying all within one sentence, one discussion, one topic. It's a touchy topic, but it's one that I believe that we need to explore because of, I feel, the negative consequences that this can have on a lot of us men. So, I think all of us, or perhaps it's not good to say all of us, many of us have probably grown up in homes where, as young men, we have been told, don't cry. Because if you cry, it means that you're acting like a girl, or you're acting like a sissy, or whatever derogatory term or word was used. Keep in mind that that type of context, when you put something into that type of context, that then means, or that is saying to a young man, to a male, that somehow that we as men should be completely removed from our feelings. We're not supposed to cry. But then if we're not supposed to cry, it means then that we don't have feelings. Feelings. That word has it has different connotations depending on how it's used and depending upon the context of the situation. But when that word is used, feelings and man next to it, there is this tendency for a lot of people to think that, well, it's a sign of weakness. Men are not supposed to have feelings, right? Men are not supposed to have emotions. Or dare a man express feelings and emotions. Again, they could be termed as being sissy or soft. As a matter of fact, a lot of times, the whole idea of feelings and emotions used within the context of a man means that he is somehow soft. And that's how a lot of people look at it. It's a mistake that I think a lot of parents have made. Certainly I was told it as well, that toughen up, you're not supposed to cry. You know, boys don't cry, men don't cry. And what that means then is, what are we then supposed to do with all those feelings and emotions? But it's not just fathers that will tell their young boys that. Women do it too. I've heard a lot of women say to their sons, young sons, don't cry. You're not a girl. Stop acting like a girl. Somehow making it seem like only girls can cry. Only girls then have feelings and emotions. And that is completely not true and completely not the case. So, researchers have said that when we cry, right, we release oxytocin, which then helps us to feel good, right? That chemical helps us to feel good. It helps us to deal with emotional and physical pain when we cry. So then, if you, as a parent, as a guardian, as whoever, encourage your young sons to grow up, teenagers, and never express any emotion, and emotions sometimes, but not always, can lead to crying, yes, but is crying bad? But if we go with the precedence and how society has had a tendency to look at it, we will think, yes, it is. So would that young man who would think that as well. So then are we surprised when a lot of men young men at first grow up to be older men, are little boys? Some men, regardless of how old they are still boys. They have never learned to deal with their emotions. They have never learned to deal with their feelings because they have been told that we're not supposed to have feelings and emotions, and God's sake, you're not supposed to express them. Because if you express them, somehow you then become less than. We should be removed from feelings and emotions. Have we wondered why some men are not able to connect in relationships? Why they can't sit and have a conversation with their partner, their lover, whoever they're with? They can't express it because they don't have it, because they have not been taught that. And if they and whenever they did express it, they ran into major headwinds. Even from the people that they love, chastise them because they were learning to develop feelings, emotions, and what to do with them. Maybe that's the reason why we have so many men in prison. Maybe if they had the opportunity to learn how to express their feelings, express their emotions, and to deal with them in such a way that it is healthy, we would not have had, maybe, so many men in prison. Of course, there are different reasons why different people do things. Now, I know some people are going to say that I'm advocating for men to cry. And if you were not listening to what I said, then you would believe that. Because the tendency a lot of times is for some people to hear what they think you have said instead of actually listen to what you say. I am not advocating for anyone to run around and cry. Not even women should be running around and just crying at every little thing that happens, right? That's not what I'm saying. But what I'm saying is when we try to remove our emotions from ourselves, we're going to have problems. Because you can never leave yourself behind. Wherever you go, yourself goes. Which means whatever you learn, whatever you know, it goes with you. So, yes, anybody should cry if they believe that there are warranted reasons for them crying. Not that they should run around just crying and bawling their eyes out. But it's deeper than just shedding a tear. It's about dealing with emotions, dealing with feelings, which we all have as human beings, men and women. And if we don't deal with our feelings, our emotions, then we can't connect with other human beings. We can't have good relationships with whoever we love, however we love. Should men cry? I will pose that question to you. I always appreciate thoughtful comments, provoking comments, and we could have this discussion in more detail another time. Please subscribe. Please leave your comments. Don't forget to hit the like button. And until next time, peace.